Hello everyone, I'm Brazen Eagle, and thank you for joining me here. So today from the Daily Mail, we have a great article about a woman finding out that being alone late in life is not necessarily a good thing. So, I've most things a woman could want, but it never dulls the heartache of living alone. That's the brave and moving confession of Amanda Platell that will chime with a growing number of older singletons. And you gotta realize that everything here is written by Amanda Platell. So she's already calling herself brave, and she has a moving confession. Great job, Amanda. So she found the real meaning of loneliness after her parents' death. They died on January 5th in Australia, a few days after she left them. And Amanda also says, "There was no one to hold me in the black depths of the night." As I walked past a charity shop one day, recently, a rack stuffed with slightly shabby, yellowing wedding dresses caught my eye. Something had made me venture inside. Rummaging through the gowns, I saw one that still had mud stains on its hem, and I imagined the happy bride posing for her wedding photos in a garden as she and her beloved swept through what they thought would be the happiest days of their lives. Why had this dress and so many others been exiled here to a little shop in a minor high street already stuffed full of broken dreams? For that's what these dresses represented. No woman who is still happily married dumps her wedding dress in a charity shop. This collection, as a woman behind the counter confirmed, represented the spoils of middle-aged divorce. As she put it, "Who needs a reminder of happier times when your husband has run off with a blonde 10 years younger than you?" And I guess this is a photo of her. As you can tell, she is aging very hard, no matter how much makeup she tries to apply. And my God, look at those hands. Oh. She offers a brave and moving confession about living alone after her last relationship ended 2 years ago. "My own wedding dress, in case you were wondering, not mine, but Amanda's, not Brazen Eagle's, remains stuffed in a suitcase in the attic, where it has been hidden out of sight for almost 30 years since my own divorce. Oh no. The only reason I haven't taken it to a charity shop is that I wouldn't want to pass on my bad luck to anyone else." The woman in the shop wasn't wrong in her observation. There are now 8 million people living alone in this country. I believe she's in the UK. The largest ever, as revealed last week by the Office for National Statistics. Family lawyers put this down to the rising number of couples deciding to divorce in older age, the silver splitters. Sounds like someone is trying to cash out with prizes. While overall, the divorce rate is falling among over 55s, the number of people ending their marriage has more than doubled. Wow, I guess older women are realizing that they can get a lot more if they end up divorced in older age. Every year, this group bolsters the single statistics by 290,000 people. That's almost the entire population of Northumberland. There are about 50 million adults in the UK, and nearly a fifth of us live alone, myself included. It's an astonishing statistic that conceals a reservoir of heartbreak. There are many good reasons why you might choose to live alone, and not all who do regret their solitary state. But the actress Kathy Burke, who is single, said on Woman's Hour that, "I don't feel loneliness. I feel like I'm constantly meditating." But a substantial number of those people living alone will have ended up isolated through the death of a partner, divorce, or separation. This report represents a sharp reminder of how lonely so many of us have become. There, I've said it, many of us are living alone are lonely, but not always, but often. There's no way to describe fully the emptiness you feel as you wake up each morning reaching out for another human being, but finding only rumpled sheets. You can plan your day carefully and fill it with work and friends, but each night as the lights go out, you are home alone, and yes, you do wonder, is this really as good as it gets? I'm writing about this because I feel, and think, I don't think, I feel, there is an unspoken pressure on us singletons to be upbeat, the life and soul of the party. Don't get me wrong, I am one of life's lucky ones, brought up in a loving family. I've had a long, joyous career that surprises even me. I can support myself doing a job I love. Like many of my fellow 8 million singletons, I have what appears to be an enviable life. Many of us have one income, no dependents except maybe the cat or dog. Oh, Catwoman, huh? And no nagging other half driving us bonkers. We have no obligation or responsibility to please anyone except ourselves. If we are lucky, as I truly am, we will have great friends, a fabulous social life, and the freedom to travel wherever and whenever we please. It's a life that works happily for plenty of people. For years, it did for me. There's an awful lot to be said for being single in your 30s and 40s, a notoriously difficult stage of life for those who are married, often with young children and possibly ailing parents. What single woman hasn't observed, with subdued satisfaction, the wan, exhausted faces of friends who haven't slept properly in their own beds for years, those whose sex lives have all the spark of a soggy firework, the ones trying to summon up excitement for a holiday, if there is any money left over for such luxuries after childcare at Disneyland Paris, or a static caravan under a slate-gray English sky while singletons are packing for St. Lucia. Exhausted couples who yawn at 9 p.m. and consider a 10:30 p.m. bedtime pure decadence while you still have the energy to dance the night away. Women whose pregnancy-ravaged bodies remain shrouded in lumpy gray tracksuit bottoms while yours fizzes and glows after a session with a personal trainer, the perfect preparation for slipping into a beautiful designer dress. Observe all this as a 30 or 40-year-old singleton whose life still feels very much ahead of her, and you feel you were dealt the better hand. Remember, we're talking about emotions here. Amanda just wants to feel. Then comes the reckoning. As you slip into your 50s and 60s and married friends relax into companionable middle age with their children grown and flown, you wonder if you were quite so lucky after all. I must confess that when my last relationship ended 2 years ago, I did feel a sense of liberation, even elation. No more having to listen to his moans about work, troubles with his kids, picking his dirty clothes off the floor, fights about money and those who did the most housework that week. Suddenly, I could sleep anywhere I liked on the bed, not to be scrunched in the corner fighting over the duvet. No more earplugs to drown out his snoring. Oh, this man is just terrible. But, I discovered, as time wore on, there's no sadder thing than trying to change a duvet cover on your own, nor the thought of you making a double bed for one. Forever in the back of my mind is A. Milne's poem Us Two and the words of Pooh to Christopher Robin. It isn't much fun for one, but two can stick together. Where's the fun in taking your iPad to the cafe on a Saturday morning to read the papers alone? Well, I would probably just take the papers. With whom can you debate the intricacies of Brexit or laugh about the latest Paul Hollywood love scandal? That's what you have a girlfriend for. There's no one to squabble with over life's great banalities like those who turn it is to take the bins out, wash the damned car, or do the grocery shopping. Oh no, not grocery shopping. There's no one to blame for forgetting to buy the milk. Oh, not the milk. When you live alone, in short, there's no one with whom to share the load, even if it's just dirty clothes for the washing machine. Marks and Spencer can be a sad place when your basket is always full of meals for one. As you get older, too, you will find that those in couples start to avoid you like the plague. Oh no, they don't want to hang out with their lonely friends. It's as if they'll fear it might be catching like a disease. And in some ways it might be. A 10-year study in the U.S. showed how loneliness spreads in social networks. Those close to someone experiencing loneliness were 52% more likely to become lonely as well. And that can have a wide range of side effects, including an increased risk of depression, suicide, cardiovascular disease, and strokes. Good old alcohol and drug abuse are alarmingly prevalent, as are the threat of Alzheimer's and obesity. Oh no, don't want to get fat. The complacency of the coupled up among us was brought home to me when news of the 8 million single statistics broke. I was sitting with a group of what Bridget Jones would have called smug marrieds, the only singleton out there. Reflexively, all their heads swiveled towards me. Oh no, she was singled out. I received the usual benign platitudes and comments of how great to be able to do whatever you want. No more cleaning up after that nasty man. And you don't know how lucky you are. To which I replied, you have no idea what it's like to be sad and lonely. No one to come to the rescue when you drop the spag bowl on the floor. No one to console you after a bad day. No one to go and watch the new Lion King with and fight over the popcorn. No one to share life's joys. No hugs, no fights, nothing much actually. You are just but a cog in the machine, the money machine. Who is there to decide at 3 a.m. that your fever will pass and is not sepsis or meningitis? How long would you lie dead in your bed before anyone even noticed that you weren't around. You may think I'm being needlessly depressing, but in the end there is one simple biological reason why we are not meant to be alone: survival. And I'm coming back to this section once I'm done reading this. The sad and beautiful truth is that we are hardwired to live in couples. I don't know about that. We are not meant to walk this earth alone. It's a simple fact of human existence. Well, it's a fact to you, and you're being very emotional right now. A life shared is a life doubled, even tripled if you meet the right person. Think of the great works of human literature: Romeo and Juliet, The Great Gatsby, Anna Karenina, to name but a few. All the protagonists are searching for love and an end to loneliness. Well, these are all books. Perhaps I'm biased, as my lesson for a life of companionship and love was my parents, who almost reached their 70th wedding anniversary. As regular male readers may already know, the real meaning of loneliness was brought home to me on the afternoon of the first Sunday in January this year. I received a text message telling me that both Mum and Dad had died the night before in Australia, just after I had left them. Of course, friends rushed around to my home, armed with wine and sympathy. They could not have been kinder or more attentive on that day, and even the darker days that followed. But there was no one to hold me in the black depths of the night. No shoulder to cry on. A tear-stained pillow is no substitute for a real human being. They say that when your parents die, there's nothing between you and the stars, just emptiness. I now know that to be true. And also that staring at those stars and the depths of darkness alone is the loneliest experience I've ever known. Now, that is the end of that article. Now, there is more I could read, but I'm not going to do this one at the moment. Maybe tomorrow, maybe not. Anyways, so basically, this brave and amazing Amanda Platell is complaining that she is sad and alone since her parents died earlier this year. Now, it's unfortunate when parents die, but even though the divorce rate in the UK is apparently falling, according to the article here, people aged over 55 are ending their marriages faster and faster than everyone else. I wonder which sex is initiating most of the divorces to get cash and prizes. It's probably not the men. They work for 40 years and then they want to retire with their wives and enjoy the rest of their lives. There's no point for them to get divorced at that time. But I could be wrong. In this article, they try to explain, or I guess Amanda tries to say, that being alone, especially as a woman, can be great and a totally liberating experience. You can do whatever you want, whenever you want. You want to sleep in the bed upside down? Go ahead and do it. You want to sleep in a bed horizontally instead of vertically? Go ahead and do it. But, Amanda here quickly comes back to the realization that she isn't satisfied or happy when she is alone. She wants someone in her life that she can enjoy it with. But I do want to remind you, this article did open up early on that she got divorced. Down here. She got divorced earlier in her own life and is now regretting that she has no one in her life to share it with. Oh, so seems like choices have consequences. It's also very revealing to see that when you live alone, in short, there is no one with whom to share the load. It sounds like she wants to be with someone in order for, presumably him, a guy, to take care of her. She doesn't want to do everything on her own like the feminists screeched back in the day. She also brings up that her friends that are in relationships or are married don't even want to be around Amanda because she spreads her misery to them. You don't want to be around someone who just makes you sad and depressed. She is a sinking ship full of sadness and loneliness that no one wants to rescue. Why would they? They don't want to become depressed. Why would you want to rescue a woman that's just sad and lonely all the time? Besides being a white knight. Now, she complains that there's no one in her life, really, to check up on her or see how she is doing, outside of just being friendly. She should have thought of that before she divorced her ex-husband. Yet now, she is trying to rationalize, supposedly, why humans are not supposed to be alone and isolated. She feels, get that, she feels that it is hardwired for humans to live in couples. She is wrong. She wants to believe that humans are meant for coupled survival. She is only saying this now because she is finally alone. I'm sure she would have sung another tune when she was in her early 20s. Would she have said this when she was 21 or 22? I doubt it. But what is hardwired in us, human beings, is for us to reproduce. She tries to state that monogamy is hardwired, or even polygamy is hardwired into each human being. Monogamy, though, whether you like it or not, is a social construct. We are not biologically wired to stay with one partner for the rest of our life. Now, I can't speak for all guys out there, but many guys are alone. But that doesn't make us feel lonely. What is loneliness? Loneliness is just an emotional reaction that people can choose to be engaged. Just because you are alone doesn't mean you're lonely. Now, at the end of the day, though, we must remember that humans, whether we like it or not, we're animals. Some of us think, some of us don't think, but we're animals, and we are wired to seek out the means to successfully reproduce. And with that in mind, thank you very much for watching. I'm Brazen Eagle, and I hope you have a great day.